In the heart of a city where everyone walked fast, talked fast, and lived even faster, there was one man who had no reason to hurry. A man the world saw every day, yet no one truly looked at. A man who had sat on the same corner for so long, that even the street forgot he was ever young. This is his story. The city of Grand Marina was a place of polished glass towers, luxury cars humming across marble bridges, and people dressed in elegance from sunrise to midnight. Every morning, the smell of expensive coffee drifted through the business district, mixing with the rhythm of footsteps from bankers, lawyers, entrepreneurs, and dreamers. But on Eastern Avenue, next to the gold-lit entrance of Meridian Towers, sat a man no one believed had a future. His name was Ton. For 12 years, Ton begged on that same spot. No umbrella during rainy seasons. No jacket during harmattan cold. Just a torn mat, an old metal cup, and a quiet hope the city never had. People dropped coins without eye contact. Some looked away in guilt, others walked past like he was invisible. And for years, he believed maybe he really was. Ton wasn't born a beggar. Once, he had dreams, big dreams. He grew up wanting to become a mechanical engineer. But life had knocked him down in ways he never expected. A fire had destroyed his small home. A sickness had taken his mother. Then, the one job he had left had shut down during an economic crash. One loss after another pushed him straight onto the streets. But still, every morning, Ton greeted life with the same quiet phrase. Maybe today will be different. One afternoon, during the city's busiest rush hour, expensive shoes matching, engines roaring, horns echoing, a sleek black SUV pulled up in front of Meridian Towers. Out stepped Chief Alade, one of the wealthiest investors in the country. A man known for power, sharp decisions, and an intimidating presence. The city recognized him instantly. Drivers honked in admiration, people whispered his name, workers straightened their ties. Everyone respected him. Everyone except his son. Daniel Alade, the heir, was standing beside him. Spoiled by luxury, dressed in designer clothes, and irritated by the slightest inconvenience. As Chief headed toward the building, he noticed Ton sitting by the entrance, his head bowed. Something made him stop. It was the way Ton held himself, not with desperation, but with dignity. His eyes tired, but not defeated. It reminded Chief of a time long before wealth, when he too had struggled. He knelt slightly and asked, "Young man, what is your story?" Ton looked up in shock. For years, no one had asked him that. Before he could speak, Daniel stepped forward. "Dad, let's go. He's just another street beggar. They all lie." Chief shot him a cold look, the kind that could freeze the sun. Then he turned back to Ton. And Ton told him everything, slowly, honestly, painfully. When he finished, Chief said something no one expected. "Get up. Follow me." Daniel's jaw dropped. "Dad, you can't be serious. Of all people, him. Why are you helping him?" Chief didn't turn around. Because sometimes, the people who have nothing, have the most to give the world. Chief took Ton into the building, past the security, past the marble floors, past the elevators, straight into his private office. He gave Ton new clothes, food, and let him clean up. Then, he said something that Ton had not heard in years. "I believe in you." Chief offered him a small job at first, cleaning documents, organizing records, running errands. Simple work, but honest work. Daniel hated it. He didn't understand why his father was investing time in a man who had begged on the streets. He complained. He argued. He mocked Ton behind his back. But Ton ignored him. Every morning, he arrived early. Worked quietly. Learned quickly. Stayed late. He absorbed everything: computer skills, company operations, customer relations. The staff admired him. His humility. His discipline. His transformation. For the first time in years, Ton felt alive. And Chief. He saw something in Ton that he didn't even see in his own son. Hunger. Determination. Grit. Qualities money couldn't buy. Over the months, Ton progressed faster than anyone expected. He became a junior administrative assistant, then a supervisor, and gradually climbed up. He attended training programs and free entrepreneurship seminars funded by Chief. Daniel watched all this with burning jealousy. How could a man who once begged on the street gain more respect in the company than the heir himself? In his anger, Daniel tried to sabotage him. He misplaced documents, blamed errors on Ton, spread rumors that he was stealing. But every time, the truth surfaced, and Ton remained innocent. Chief grew disappointed in his son. And Daniel grew even more bitter. After 3 years in the system, Chief called Ton into his office again. "Tell me," Chief asked. "What do you truly want in life?" For the first time, Ton didn't hesitate. "I want to build machines. Real machines. I want to create something that solves problems for people like me. I want to design affordable mechanical tools for small businesses." Chief nodded slowly. Then he gave Ton something he never expected. Funding. Mentorship. Connections. A full scholarship to complete his engineering certifications. Daniel stormed out of the room that day, furious. But Chief didn't care. He saw potential where others saw a beggar. And the city soon saw it too. Ton studied relentlessly. He slept 5 hours a night. He drew blueprints at dawn. He built prototypes in small workshops behind the company. 2 years later, he launched his first innovation. A low-cost, portable mechanical generator that used 40% less fuel. It changed everything. Small businesses adopted it. Mechanics praised it. Street vendors used it. Communities without reliable power suddenly had affordable electricity. The demand exploded nationwide. Investors lined up. Banks called. Distributors signed contracts. Ton, once invisible in the busiest city, became the city's newest rising entrepreneur. Chief stood proudly beside him. Daniel stood behind them, forced to watch. 3 years later, the unimaginable happened. Chief Alade fell seriously ill. Though wealthy, he was human. Hospitals tried their best, but Chief knew his time was running short. Daniel waited, hoping the inheritance would finally be his. But one morning, the entire city was shocked by the announcement of the new CEO of Alade Industries. It was not Daniel. It was Ton. Chief left behind a letter, read during the board meeting. A man is not measured by where he begins, but by what he chooses to rise from. Daniel was speechless. The employees applauded. Many cried. Ton himself wept. He stood before the team and said, "I may have come from the streets, but I will lead with integrity, compassion, and the strength that your father believed I had." Years later, the city knew Ton not as the beggar from Eastern Avenue, but as Ton Alade, the man who carried on the legacy of the greatest mentor he ever had. His engineering company expanded across West Africa. He built affordable machinery, donated school tools, sponsored young engineers, and funded shelters for the homeless. And one day, on a quiet morning, Ton returned to the old spot on Eastern Avenue. He placed a brand new metal chair where he once sat on the ground. A young boy passed by and asked, "Sir, why are you placing this chair here?" Ton smiled. "Because this is where my life began. Not the suffering. The hope." The wind blew gently across the avenue. Cars passed. People hurried. But this time, Ton stood tall, no longer invisible. A man who once had nothing, now had everything he needed. And every soul who heard his story learned one priceless truth. Destiny can find you, even in the busiest city in the world, as long as you refuse to give up hope.